Hello! It's Stream 2. Greetings, my little vlog channel. A few months later, and as I feel like, again, being fully aware that me being in my head gives me an absolutely internal bias of foresight, hindsight, sight, maybe isn't a surprise to see coming, but at this point, this video being like, well, I'm recording it almost exactly like 3 months later. I don't know how soon I'll get this edited and up, but you know, months after the last one. So this is going to be a little bit of, hey, this is what week 7 is about, and this is why I fell off the bandwagon, and I think I'm okay with that. So yeah, week 7 of The Artist's Way, recovering a sense of connection. So, week 7, in a sort of brief summary of the notes I took back when I was doing it, because I procrastinated this week a lot. I stopped and restarted. I think it took me 3 weeks to get through this, because it was just, I'd start reading the pages and then I wouldn't finish them, and I'd be halfway through a week and I'd be like, oh, what's the point? And I'd be like, I'll restart on Monday. And that happened a couple of times, and then I just sat down and did it. And I don't know if this was partially because the tasks in this one, some of them are quite childhood related. I don't know if that was me being like, I don't want to really do the self-analysis, or if, like, am I just procrastinating in general? Do I not like this? Or is this not working for me? Like, many options. But basically, week 7 talks about, like, listening and basically, like, expect the universe to support your dreams, and it will. And it talks a lot about perfectionism, you know, the whole, like, oh, you gotta make something perfect before you move on. No, just do the thing. Just do the thing. It talks about how it's just, perfectionism is just you getting stuck in the details, and it becomes a bit of a negative loop. One line I highlighted, figuratively, is like, instead of letting errors like reveal themselves as insights, we turn originality into uniformity. And I can sort of get that, because your perfectionism is probably based on like what other people have done, and it's like, oh, it's not perfect if it's not like fitting the boxes. I sort of get. And it talks about how perfectionism isn't actually seeking the best as much as we think, like, no, we want it to be the best, must be perfect. But it is actually more to do with, you know, the worst in ourselves. Seeking that. It's the part that tells us that nothing we do will ever be good enough, so we should try again. But actually, it's like, no, things aren't meant to be perfect or complete. They're just finished, as are. Which, you know, makes sense, because think about, you know, probably most video games. Most of them are not perfect, but most of them usually are still enjoyable regardless. Because I've just finished replaying it, Dragon Age 2 comes to mind. Is that game absolutely a rush job where there are some obvious flaws and on points where more time would have benefited? Yes. Is it still enjoyable? Personal preferences and all, I get it. If you disagree with me, you're valid, but wrong. I have a wonderful time Dragon Age 2. It's not perfect, but I still love it. I'd still class it as good for enjoyment. Maybe that's forget Artist's Way. I just need to think about Dragon Age 2 and be like, this is how I will live my life now. I don't need a self-help book. I just need Dragon Age. But enough about that tangent. If we want that, you can go to my Twitch. Book also talks about risk and how we need to like move out of our head into action for a creative life. And that, like, you know, most of us are very, very experienced at talking ourselves out of taking any risks. You know, because we're scared that we're going to look silly and people are going to laugh and, oh, we're not going to be good enough. But, like, we kind of just forget that you have to start off doing things badly before you're doing them well. And, like, the example the book used was, like, you know, we don't compare our student films to, say, George Lucas's student films, but to Star Wars itself, which is not the same level. But yeah, we do it. And following on from, like, Risk, that talks about how putting up limits on ourselves just keeps us in a failure-free safety net. But you kind of have to reject the limit to actually take the risk, move towards things. So, like, the whole thing, like, you know, you can't because you're too old, you're too broke, or too shy, or too this, or too that, or whatever. Whatever reason you can't do whatever the thing is. It's just you being like, I can't do it perfectly, so why bother? But the book's all like, no, risks are worth taking, you know? Challenge yourself. Meet the challenge. Expand your self-definition. Which, you know, yeah, fair points. And it also talks about jealousy. Jealousy being like a mask for the fear. The fear of the, you know, things we want to do, but we don't feel brave enough to actually follow through and do them. We'll just go, oh, gee, that's nice. Wish I could be as successful as that person doing the thing I want to do, but I'm, like, too scared to actually do myself, so I'll just sit here being jealous, kind of thing. And this amuses me because this is something I'm like, I hear a lot on the content creation internet corner. Talks about how, like, being jealousy is thinking in a scarcity mindset. Like, there's only room for one person's success, you know. Other people being successful takes away from any potential success you have, kind of thing, which is, you know, kind of bullshit, because, hey, look at the world. There's more than one successful person. Wild, I know, but at this point I'm like, am I sassing myself? Am I sassing the book? Am I just sassily reading things that aren't actually sassing anything? I will show you the tasks. There was like, there was like a jealousy map to be all like, who are you jealous of and why and how are you going to fix this? Which was literally, like, its examples are stuff like, my friend Ed, why? Writes good crime novels. Action, try writing one yourself. And then there's a whole archaeology one that's like, hey, as a kid, this, that, and the other. It's stuff from, like, you know, as a kid, I dreamed of being as a kid, I lacked this, or I missed the chance to, or I needed more, or I'm sorry, I will never again see, or I've missed and wondered about blah, 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 or I beat myself up about the loss of blah, blah, blah. Sort of as a, like, yeah, sort of to help your inner child, basically, to be like, acknowledge the things. Do things to fix things or accommodate things now. It also, like, follows up with a little positive one, like, you know, I have a loyal friend in this, and one thing I like about my town is blah, and, you know, I'm taking greater interest in blah, blah, blah. And I believe I'm getting better at, you know, it's, my self-care it's balanced that way. And then, like, the actual tasky tasks are like, make this phrase mantra. Treating myself like a precious object will make me strong. And then, like, give yourself time to listen to one side of an album just for joy. And maybe doodle, and, you know, just take time, which I enjoyed. I don't make enough time to listen to music, mostly because I'm either watching things or working on things and neither conductive to music, but need to work music in again. I also don't have as much of a commute anymore, so I'm like, And then there's tasks like, you know, create one wonderful smell in your home. Or wear your favorite item of clothing for no special occasion. Buy yourself one wonderful, like, you know, pair of socks or something. Just something comforting and self-loving. And one's like create a collage of, like, basically your life. Your life in a collage picture form. List, like, your favorite films and topics to read and see how that, like, relates to your creative things, basically. And I did several of those tasks. I enjoyed the collage. I liked sort of thinking about my life, and it was nice doing that, like, yeah, these things kind of represent different points in my life and different interests, and then some things are just, hey, an image I vibe with. I enjoy collages, that's fun. I like doing the favorite clothes, wearing one, because I've mentioned this before, and I will mention this again, because the next video on this channel is going to be a wardrobe clear out, but I do have a bit of a thing where I'm like, I don't like to wear, like, my favorite clothes unless there's, like, an actual proper occasion and stuff, and I'm like, actually, I just want to wear my clothes more, because, like, they're my clothes. I want to wear them. I want to enjoy wearing them. And I've said it before, like, I like the tasks in this book. I do like the things that actually make you go, okay, yeah, let's take time for me, do something that's maybe self-caring or creative or, you know, both. Or something that is a bit more self-reflective and good for personal development and stuff, like the childhood stuff, as much as I was like, and ah, and e, and I definitely talked through with my friend about those. I was like, Which was also especially fun because I did not have a good memory, so I'm just like, childhood, yes. But what was really harder for progressively, like as the weeks went on, like this was a thing. But week 7, as I said, took me like 3 or 4 weeks to actually conclusively do. It's just getting hard to actually do the reading part to then follow up with all the tasks. I don't think there's anything wrong with the reading part, like stuff like being, oh yeah, like perfectionism, or, you know, don't let like the fear of others' judgment and shame and stuff get to you. I'm like, yes, these sentiments are valid and make sense. I hear them in other places anyway. I don't know. I don't know how much of it is that I procrastinate reading things in an actual physical format. I've realized, because I finally got back into reading sort of the end of last year into this year, but mostly thanks to the Kindle app on my phone. So I don't know how much is that hindering things, how much is the fact that I don't feel like I'm getting anything specific from this book that I couldn't get elsewhere. Maybe self-help books aren't for me. Works for you, great, valid, happy for you. Like I said when I started this, my friend absolutely loved this, thought it really helped her. Like, go you, great for you. I still don't know if this is a this just isn't for me kind of thing, or if I just didn't try enough. Because as my friend did like put it, like this is something you sort of need to really be dedicating most of your time towards and thinking about and applying it to like each week to like your life throughout the week. And even whenever I was, you know, in lockdown, not going to work, I was still struggling to make myself read it, to do the things. It was not taking the majority of my time. So I'm like, maybe that's just me, you know, not doing enough for me. Or maybe that's just it not being for me. Like, because yes, I would like to go on a continued personal development journey and sort my shit out, but maybe this isn't the way. And that's fine. As you can probably tell by the fact that, for one, the big time gap between week 6 and week 7, I have not went past week 7. I did write in my little notebook where I was doing the task. I started week 8 and then I was like, no. Maybe it's just me not wanting to do things, but I'm not going to follow through with this. I've been dragging my feet through several weeks. No. Now maybe this is also just bad timing for doing something like this. Maybe, you know, during a pandemic wasn't the time. Maybe I will come back to this at a future point and be actually, yeah, okay, I can see it. Or like I said, maybe it's not for me. Either way, valid, fine. I just wanted to conclude the little vlog series on it, I guess. So I don't know, it's probably been helpful in some ways just to think on certain things more, because it could be entirely unrelated, but I have been thinking about other things to maybe do to benefit me more. Haven't made a commitment to myself yet, but I'm thinking about things. I guess this vlog is basically a, hey, I tried, and then I let myself stop trying because that's okay. And if you like me and you crash and burn during this, you're not alone. It's okay. It's okay to stop doing things. It's that whole, was it sunk cost fallacy. Because a little part of me was like, I've made it like halfway through this book, I should finish it. But the other part of me was like absolutely dreading the concept of dragging myself through it another whole bunch of weeks. So whether it's the right decision or not, I'm just going to be like, I'll leave it. I will leave it for now. The future is potential. Till then, we'll see. I'll just keep taking each day at a time and hope for the best. Again, I feel like this should have some grand conclusion to like, oh yeah, I didn't do it and it was great or whatever and reasons, but really it's more like, yeah, I'm not going to just sink my time into it because I started and I don't think it's for me at this time in my life, if ever. And that's fine. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. If you like keeping up with this little shit, I'm much more active on my gaming channel and my Twitch. Links in the description for interested parties. And otherwise, I'll see you next time with a wardrobe clear out video, which will be much more, I don't know, contenty. Purposeful, maybe is the word. Bye!